Good morning, everybody. Josh, SNE Weather here. I just want to say good morning, and I hope everybody's having a wonderful day this morning, or at least a wonderful morning. It's too early to say day. That's after 12. I just wanted to go through the next few little weather makers that we're going to have to keep an eye on over the next week or so. I'm going to use the European computer model for now and to give you a grasp of what is expected and what I shouldn't say expected. I apologize. Don't not expected, but possibilities and probabilities that could take place. All right, so here we are, the European computer model, and before I get into this, I just want to state over the last month or so, I've been dealing with an extreme amount of back pain and lower back pain. And you might have noticed that I've been a little bit loopy on these videos, and that's pretty much the pain meds just totally messing with me, and I hate pain meds. So I do apologize. I just wanted to say that. I just want to be a little bit personable with you, and I try to do the best I can with these models. And for those who pray, just keep me in your prayers. And for those who don't pray, just keep me in your thoughts. It's made it difficult to work and difficult to just do about almost anything. And I will say I thank God for my wife. She's been my support and my rock as I've gone through this. And without her, I don't even know where I would be today. And I just thank her. And I want the world to know that she's an awesome wife. And I appreciate her. So here, without further ado, here we go with the computer models. And this is precipitation rate. It says an hour, but it's not an hourly map, so I just want to make sure you do that. So if you read this little sign up here, where it says rate in hours, yeah, let's not do that. But this gives you a general idea of what to expect. So we got our storm system that you can see right here over New York, and it's going to be moving forward and come right over us pretty much and goes into the Gulf of Maine. Now you're going to notice right away it's 1007 over Connecticut. Oh, I hate when I do that. Let's go back. Here we go. 1011, 1007, 996. So it starts dropping in millibars as it's passing over us. So it's only gone down a few millibars, so it's nothing crazy, but you're seeing it drop 10 millibars. And if I'm right, I believe this is within a 6-hour window. Yeah, 6 hours, it's dropping 10 millibars. So, this thing is starting to bomb out. Too bad. It was just too late, just a shade too late. This has been a reoccurring theme that we've seen all winter so far. Is that these systems have been just moving way too fast, and they don't have time to make that dip that you want to see. You want to see it kind of do something like that. If you want a good snowstorm, that's what you're going to want to see. It's something along those lines. I remember when it's called Nemo, it was kind of like, it went like this, and then just went off. And for those who don't know what that is, that's the storm that gave us hurricane force wind gusts all the way to Worcester and like 20 to 40 inches of snow widespread throughout the area. So let's go a little further into the map. So that's the storm that's over us now. And it's still like, just by looking at this, you can kind of see that the back edge does reach Cape Cod. So I do think Cape Cod, you're going to get some snow out of this before it ends. So let's go into this weekend, and there's our storm system in the Midwest area, starting to look a little ragged, but getting itself together. Moving it further along, and you can see right here you got some front end snows already beginning there. It's interesting to note that it seems like these computer models are not trying to change it over too much. It's just ending sooner than later. And you can see right here, look, like you can see the back edge is right here, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a lot of rain within this system right now. It looks like it's mostly going to be a snow event. Now, the thing is, when you see the storm system and the way it's shaped, the back edge is here, and there's not really a lot right there. There's just not a lot of snow. And there's going to be a major issue of dry air and colder air being in place, and that's really just going to eat a lot of this front end. I would say like this whole front end here. Like, even though it's showing up there, it's just not going to fall. It's going to be way too dry. So I'll go a little further, excuse me, a little further in time, and you can see, what's happening here. The storm system goes and then lifts out. And then eventually that's when the cold air comes in. So go a little further in the computer models. And there's a feature, whoop, did it again. Let's see. So that moves out. And there's this feature down here. This is an interesting feature. Now, you see these double barrel high pressures here, and I can honestly say, hey, there's no way that's coming up this way. But it's something to watch because some models are showing a storm system coming up the coast. 1039, now that's the high pressure you'd like to see in this position. 1039 high right there, that's a great cold air high that you want to see when a storm is approaching. And 1047, yeah, that's another one of those really strong high pressures, just anchoring in some colder air into our area. Now, the question is, does this storm right here actually come up this way? Now, I don't think that's going to be the case because that high pressure is really strong. Usually when you see high pressures like that, it's usually going to sink to the south. All right, let's take a look at some of the upper atmosphere maps. So here we go, the European 500 millibar, as always. Here we are for today, and you can see our low pressure system. Yeah, just want to make sure I had the right map for a minute there. Sorry. You can see the storm that's over us now, moving in and moving out. That's the upper level low, and you can see it amplifying off the coast. You got yourselves a pretty good ridge building for Friday to Saturday, and then here's our next storm system. And interesting to note is although this is positive, this is negative, and that negative approach is going to be what amplifies the storm system. Now, I do want to show something here. If you look at this, that's negative. So it's possible that this storm could intensify sooner, and as it's moving to the east. It seems like these models do not want to relocate the low as it once did. It looks like it just wants to take the low and just bring it right across, which I think is the case. Because most of these storm systems that we've seen over the last month, it's literally looked exactly like this. And it's just so progressive, and so anything that does come around is just exiting out immediately. So let's take a look at the actually, let's go a little further. So moving along, and there's our system moving out, and the little upper level low that moves out. And here it comes. Yep. And there it goes. There it is. Look at that cold air. You got a lot of cold air being sunk in. And like this is that feature also that I was speaking about right here. And if it can catch up with this trough here, what's this? This Tuesday. This trough here, we could spawn a storm late in the week. It all depends on like timing, and with these dynamic things. And then the ridge part comes on and it amplifies a little bit, and there you go. All right, so let's take a look at the vorticity map. So you see this Thursday, energy's coming through, energy's exiting, and one thing I do want to show you on this map is you can see this band. That actually goes back almost to Rhode Island. So it's possible to see a few flurries in the Rhode Island area, eastern Rhode Island into southeastern Mass. I think areas like Weymouth, Gloucester, Plymouth, Barnstable, maybe even Marion could see the snow showers. And I think Barnstable and the Outer Cape has the best shot for some light snow, maybe even a possibility a little bit of moderate snow as the storm ends tonight. All right, let's go a little further. Let's get into Saturday, and you can see energy is coming forward. And as it comes, and you can see it shows right here that there is a low, apparent low trying to form right there. And then eventually it just starts exiting out. And there we go. And so my thoughts right now is, well, let's look at the EPS. Here's the EPS, and even the EPS, EPS is actually showing that from our Thursday system, actually putting down a dusting, even in away just off from the coast for today's system, and that's mostly looks like front end snow too. So I think it's highly doubtful, but you can see that the EPS does show that ocean effect. You can see that, and I'll show you it with the marker. You're going to notice that right around here it just comes down, and there you go. See it? You can see that it goes down, and so it does seem like that some ocean enhancement, ocean effect snow is possible for the Outer Cape. Like I said, dusting I don't think it'll be an inch, but I'll say dusting to an inch for now. Maybe in a coating in some places, and then here's our next storm system. And right now, it looks like from Boston to Worcester to, I would say just south of Plymouth, just north of Fall River. Providence would be in this Exeter, and I would say inland southeast Connecticut, 2 to 4 inches per the EPS. And it looks like the heaviest snow is trying to stay up in here. Of course, ski country. All right, so let's go take a look at the next model. So here we are with the GFS. This is for Thursday system, and GFS actually is trying to say, no, you're not going to see ocean enhancement, but I find that very doubtful. But let's get into Saturday system, and you can see some front end snow, and then it ends as a little bit of rain. I just, like I said, I just think it's going to be more snow than rain. It's just not going to be a lot. Our storm system then finally starts to move on out on Sunday as upper level low goes and gets out of here as well. There's another couple other features that I've noticed, and here's one. This is next weekend, and I wanted to show this briefly. And the GFS has been showing a pretty powerful nor'easter possible. Now, why is this different from the previous runs? One thing I'm going to say is cold air will be in place. There's no doubt about that in my mind. So I think it is very, very possible. Now, here's the other reason why I think it's the same old thing. Look where it's coming from. It's just like what we've been seeing all winter. But the Euro's not showing this yet. But the Euro, so let's see what happens in the next week or so. Not the next week or so, but like in the next few days, and see if the Euro ends up jumping on it or not. Go a little further in time, shows another storm system sits way off the coast. Like I said, cold air will be in place, and it is possible. And here's the interesting thing, too. Look what's right here. That is perfect placement for this to be up here. That's perfect placement. That's what you want to see for a snowstorm. So I would say sometime between the 28th and let's say February 2nd could see a snowstorm or a storm. We'll say storm for now. It's possible that it could happen. Like I said, you got the high pressure here. Now let's look at the other system from Saturday. And look, what's this? It's a 1040 high. Actually, I think unless that's a lake, that's right here. Let's see. Yeah, that's a lake. All right. Well, so yeah, that's a 1040 high, and it's moving out. It's possible. It is possible, and I'm like, today's gonna be like D-Day. I'm gonna call today D-Day because it's possible that this low pressure could be down here. It's possible that this low pressure here ends up coming further south because of that high pressure. That's a fairly decent high pressure, and it's strong enough to actually suppress this storm rather than let it lift up and out. I mean, 992, like that's not a big. It's a good nor'easter, and it would give us a classic nor'easter, but it's not. I mean, this is no place for a nor'easter either, but it's not the greatest placement, greatest millibars, but that's not going to knock down a 1040 high. 993, 993, 996, 1000, 991 pulling out. So that's just some thoughts on my thinking on that system right there. And here we are on Saturday, and like I was saying, and what is this? Yeah, this the European computer model. This is Saturday. This is tomorrow. Like, look at these temperatures. That's not cold enough to support a a rainstorm. And you do see the temperatures moderating throughout the day. Eventually, it's still 26 in Boston, then it gets into the 40s throughout the night. This is approximately at, let's see, about 5 a.m. on Sunday morning, and, those temperatures really moderate. But look what is, and of course I would, look at what is waiting for us. Look what's waiting for us right behind the storm system, and it's coming. Now, am I saying negative temperatures? No. But you can see the cold air really starts to come in, and let's see, lows, wrong way. Gonna get into the teens overnight into Monday morning, and it doesn't moderate too much. Look, 20s. And then on Tuesday, it's gonna even get colder, possibly even the single digits, and then it moderates a bit. Wednesday, and I mean, look at how far this cold air gets down. It gets all the way down to the Gulf, and which leads me to say this: let's keep an eye on this whole area here for a storm to develop. If the right amount of energy gets down in this area here that I just outlined, if energy can get into this area, we could see a storm try to form. In which what I showed you earlier, the Euro has something here, and the GFS is bringing something here. The coldest will be in place. And that's why I said for next weekend could be a different story than what we have been seeing. Moving further, you can see temperatures moderate a bit. You can see still cold air in place all the way to the mid-Atlantic. Temperatures moderate a bit, and So this is something we'll have to keep an eye on. This is the Euro. I'll just go switch over to the GFS real quick and go through that very quickly. GFS as well is showing, these temperatures doing the same. Coming down out of Canada and we're coming into the Gulf and much of the country all the way down to the Gulf Coast. And let's just scroll it back just a tad. Let's see. So this would be overnight, Sunday into Monday. You can see 20s. Overnight lows are going to get pretty chilly. Single digits it's showing all the way down, into our area. I think the coast will be in the teens. That's overnight lows and high temperatures in the teens. I mean, like look at this, like 14, 16 degrees. It doesn't really go up much, but it does appear that it doesn't last for too long, which is good. It does keep the cold in place just a tad bit longer. And I mean, we're into Saturday and still in the 20s, and that's when you could see actually. It's interesting. You can actually see where there's like a possibility of a storm system right there. You just see that surge of warmer air. The only thing I don't see is the surge of colder air behind it. So, a lot of question marks already in uncertainty with that storm system. So that's it in a nutshell with the GFS. So let's take a quick look at wind chills. So whenever there's cold air coming in, there's always going to be wind chills. And, this is for tomorrow in the morning. Wind chills are going to get pretty cold. You talk about below zero, north and west of Boston into Worcester. Northwest Rhode Island could be below zero wind chills. So it's going to get really cold tomorrow. And wind chills are in the teens, single digits and teens for most of the day. And then we're going to Saturday, and it moderates a little bit. Let's move forward. Here we go. Tuesday, below. This is Tuesday. You see below zero wind chills. And let's go into Wednesday. Still very cold. Teens, single digits, and below zero wind chills are still in place. Going into Thursday, and it moderates. 20. Wind chills in the 20s along southeast Mass and into southern Rhode Island, but single digits and teens north of that. And then, we finally moderate and we still got single digits and teen wind chills into Friday. We'll look into Saturday real quick, 20s and teens. So it's going to start getting cold. And so wind chills are going to be below zero overnight tonight into tomorrow. And then next week the cold is finally going to come in, and waking up in the morning where they are being in the single digits and highs struggling to get above 20 degrees, and it was coming, but it happens when it's late January. Like I said, so just to summarize real quickly. Expect Cape Cod, even the east coast of Massachusetts, coastal areas, extreme coastal areas, have a good chance of seeing some flurries, maybe even a little bit of southeast Mass, some flurries and snow showers, maybe even a possibility of a little bit of light to moderate snow, like in Barnstable, Chatham, Provincetown areas. Nantucket, I think you're going to be more snow shower to light snow than moderate. I think the moderate stuff is going to be more confined to the outer Cape. My reason for thinking that is because you're going to have these snow showers going over land, in which it's going to make it lose some of its oomph. So it's going to almost like peter out. And then once it gets back over water, it's going to start building again, but it won't be able to get strong enough, quick enough to give you guys a good burst of moderate snow. This weekend, I mean, the EPS saying 2 to 4 inches roughly. I'm going to keep an eye on that and see what happens with it. And I think it's probably going to be like 1 to 3, 2 to 4 inch snowfall. I don't think it's going to be anything more than that. Cold comes in next week. And what I think is possible is that sometime, say middle to late week, possibly next weekend, we could see a storm begin to develop. Just got to get the right amount of energy and trough in position to begin a development of a storm. And the cold air is in place, and since it's in place, it's almost a guarantee that there could be a storm. So, anyways, but everybody have a wonderful day and have a great weekend coming up. I will have another post tomorrow night It's probably going to be more late at night as I won't be home until about 9 o'clock tomorrow night from working. But I'll just be keeping an eye on, and maybe if anything changes with this storm with the models, and we start seeing a more southerly direction, that's going to bring those snow totals up. But my name is Josh. Everybody have a wonderful day. I said any weather, and I'll keep you posted.